YouTube, it's Tone back with another one for you. This one is use of a bill of exchange, and we covered a few things in the last video. We'll get into some more of it here. So the biggest thing that I want to mention is just that you got to do your UCC 1 and your UCC 3 first before you start issuing promissory notes and shit like that. You know, a lot of people who start getting into this information and just try to skip past a lot of the shit that they fucking need to do first, and they wonder why the shit don't work. And then they'll come in the comment section acting like fucking things don't work when they did the shit wrong. That's why my comment section is off. You know, I just realized, I just fucking remembered again why I keep it off, because I just went on to Facebook to post something on this gentleman Yusuf L's page. You know what I'm saying? Just to promote the shit that I'm doing here with the free discharge of the 10,000 and over for student loans, taxes, and hospital bills, right? So I post that on his page, and you got people coming out and they're talking about oh, I haven't seen any proof that that works, it doesn't work, and all this shit. Well, I haven't seen proof that it doesn't work. I haven't seen proof that it doesn't work. So, you know, that same stupid ass fucking logic that you use to come say that some shit don't work because you haven't seen it. Well, I haven't seen it not work. I actually have not seen it not work. So I don't know what the fuck that these people are talking about. So main thing, keep in mind, do your UCC 1 and 3 first, because you're gonna need that information in order to get this shit done properly. So that way when they go to verify it, they know that they have no valid claim against it because you already have the superior claim on it. All right. So let's get into this. So the description is going to be your true name, your current full legal name, upper lower case. The bond number is going to be from the back of your social security card. Will contain a through N series of alphabets and then an 8-digit series of numbers. So this one here says E, 55, 20, 30, and then 4. So these are different examples of how they look. And so the letters on the back of the social next to the numbers, I think they indicate which Federal Reserve Bank that it's out of and things like that. So your mailing address, right? And then the state where you reside, and you recorded your copyright notice. And that's another big thing too, is copyright claims too, because there's so many different things that you can do to get the, because there's no one way to do any of this. So the strawman name is which is your full name in all capital letters. So that's going to be your all caps name. That's your strawman. Then the social security number is going to be used with the socials, and then your EIN going to be underneath without the social. So that's your closed account. So the social without dashes is your closed account used for set off of any public liabilities and obligations, which all public liabilities and obligations are an obligation of the United States Treasury Department. Go check their website out if you think I'm fucking lying to you. So certified mail number you use to set up your UCC contract trust account with the Secretary of the Treasury, right? And so you're going to have to put your UCC number here. This is for them to verify. I put this on all my documentation as well when I'm sending shit to the IRS and things like that too, because they get a lot of fucking paperwork and they just need something to verify it. It's things like this that if you miss, it's not going to get done, right? And then you're going to think it doesn't work, and then what you're going to do is go back to work for fucking 40 years. That's what you're going to do. So take your time. Take your time with this shit. This is not something that you want to rush, and it's worth taking the time, because you're gonna get the rest of your life to be able to do what you want. You know what I'm saying? So create an accepted for value stamp. So you create the A4V stamp. Negotiable non-transfer chargeback, office holder, Secretary of the Treasury Department. I accept for value all related endorsements in accordance with UCC 3-419, HJR 192, and Public Law 73-10. Charge my private UCC contract trust account, employer identification number, EIN. That's your social without the dashes. And then for the registration fees and the command and the memory of account number, EIN. That's without dashes, to charge the same to the debtor's order or your order, employer identification number, and then the bond number here. So prepaid preferred stock priority, exempt from levy, post certified account, and then you got your invoice number here. So be sure to sign on the last blank line. We suggest that using transparency film on your computer printer. I don't know what the fuck the point of that would be. So let me just not read that. So that's a example of how you can do the A4V stamp. I have examples too. If you need an example, it's free. Send me an email. I'll send it to you. That shit is on the house. So it says the invoice number is one that you will assign to each document where you use your stamp. You might consider using a combination of your initials and the date. So, because you got to keep really good records when you start doing this. This is banking. This is private banking, okay? So you have to keep really good records in case you get audited. But don't even worry about that because you're doing the right thing. However, keep really good records anyway. And also, so in case you have to bring these assholes to court if they don't fucking honor your presentments, you know what I'm saying? Which they do have an obligation to. So in this step, begin with the file that you created in the previous editing step. For example, if in the last step you created a file named Smith BOE template, whatever, then this would work. Then that'd be the file that you should open now. So this is pretty much saying to just keep working on the same file, not to start a new one every time you do it. What else do we got here? Yeah, that's just more. It says once you replace all these tags, save your copy file under a new name. Yeah, so that's just telling you how to file your documents if you're gonna keep records there. So then here we have this information here is gonna be on the following videos. You're gonna send me an email. I'll send you the documentation. So what I'm reading to you now is gonna be on the actual BOE. So this is what's gonna go on it in the place of the shit that's gonna be in brackets here. So you're gonna have to change. So it's in like a default position. You go in there, you edit in all your personal information, and then you do that. So the name of your account with the creditor, usually in uppercase, creditor rights. So that's going to be your all caps name there. So it's going to say account name. Your account is your estate. Your decedent estate is your all caps name. So because it's dead. So that would be your all caps name. So the day you are going to issue the BOE, usually the current date. So you want to put the date on it here. Where it says current date, then it's going to be in brackets, and then you go ahead and put the current date there. So the amount of debt you are terminating in numbers. So the discharge amount that's going to be in brackets, you put one series of this in numbers. It's going to be in numerology here. And then when you go lower, it's going to be alphabetical. So the amount of debt you are terminating in numbers. So if it's $9,526, then you're going to write that out in numbers. The amount of debt you are terminating in words underneath that. Discharge amount in text is going to be in brackets. You're going to take out that default position and you're going to write in $9,526 and no cents. And that's going to be written in English letters using the alphabets, numerology and alphabets. So the number of the BOE, the same number as the certified mail certificate used to mail the BOE and the creditor. Now you're doing this because you're not going to be using a routing. So that's basically going to be the routing number there. So the BOE number is going to be whatever your certified mail number is, and you're going to use that as essentially is going to be a routing number. So the name of the creditor whom you owe, or they claim you owe, so it would be ABC Visa Services, and you're going to put that in a, and so you're going to take that out of the brackets, and you're going to write in whoever the actual debtor's name is, which is the all capital letter name of whatever corporation it was that claims that you owe them money. So the address of the creditor whom you owe, the account number you have with the creditor. So it's going to be the account number, the city, street, and the name of the company, and then you're going to put the address as well in the bottom, as well as the account number and all that. So the invoice number you assign to the creditor's invoice when you apply the accepted for value, usually your initials with the current date, and so that's going to be the invoice number. Again, another number that you make up unless there's actual, the account number is going to be their invoice number. Then you're going to create an invoice number as well. That's going to counter that. So the name of the friend who will make the BOE packets. So I would recommend that you go ahead and use a notary, all right? Because you're going to have witnesses and shit like that too. So what I would do is, the registered mail, then get that stamped, and then I would do a 3635 form 3665 form as well afterward in order to have the postmaster be the witness and stamp the transaction as well, because then you're going to have your claims in equity as well as putting the $1 stamp on it, which is going to put you into the Universal Postal Union. That's going to take you right out of the jurisdiction. So you're going to be good, kid. So the address of the friend who will make the BOE package, definitely use the notary, man. Once they see all these things done in the way that I'm breaking it down to you, I'm pretty sure you're going to get your shit done. And so this is what I'm going to do. Mind you, I haven't even done this shit yet. But if you think I'm not, you're out of your mind. So, prepared charging instrument. So the event that actually starts the issuing of a BOE is when a creditor sends you a presentment or charging instrument, usually a bill. It is very important that the charging instrument contain an amount that is due, and then it does have to say amount due on it. So you cannot issue a BOE unless you know the amount so that you can exchange it. Prepare the charging instrument, the bill from the creditor. You are going to put the accepted for value on the charging instrument. The stamp should have already been created. Position the stamp in such a way that it does not obscure any significant writing on the instrument. I put it at a 45-degree angle in red, obviously, so that way it stands out, and then it's not literally interfering with the literature that's on the page, so you can still read it. So you want to apply the stamp to the original version of the presentment. The best way is to print onto the face of the charging instrument by running the charging instrument as the source of the page to your printer, and that's what I do. I run it right through the printer and use it that way. So first I'll go ahead and print it out, then I'll run it back through the printer, and then I'll put my stamps on it, and then I'll make copies of it. So now date and sign the charging instrument in blue ink and write your EIN, your SSN without dashes, and fill in the amount. When you have completed this first step, the charging instrument has now been accepted for value. Make 2 copies, one for your records and one to send to the Secretary of Treasury. On the copy of the Secretary of Treasury, print in red ink, copy. So you do want to copy them. Printing the original BOE and letter of advice, and prior to doing all this, I probably go ahead and notify the Treasury maybe a week ahead of time. So I go ahead and send a lead letter and let them know that my intent is to go ahead and get this done, and then so that way they know that the shit's coming. And then a week behind that, I will go ahead and have this follow that. So printing the original BOE and letter of advice. The next 2 pages contain the BOE and the letter of advice. Print a single copy of each of these 2 pages. This file contains many section breaks. Your version of MS Word may not support printing a page range when the document contains page breaks. If this is the case, when you attempt to print a page range, the entire document will be printed. So pretty much what he's saying is that when you go into the print shit, you're going to have to type in the page number. So you might have like 6 pages on there when you go to hit print. So you don't print them all. You're going to have to pick page 1, 2, or 3, whatever like that, individually, and print them that way so you don't fucking print them all out at once. So we're almost there. We got probably like 5 more videos, and you guys are going to be masters at this shit. So it is a game of chess. Stop playing checkers with these clowns. That's what I got for you for now. Until we meet again.